Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to react to another episode of Euphoria. This is season 2, episode 2. It is called Out of Touch. Now, what happened last time on Euphoria? So last time we opened with like a drug deal that was kind of intense. They had everyone stripped down. We met this girl with super ginormous lips. And it was like a whole intense thing. And I have a feeling those characters are going to play a more prominent role in this season than just that episode. And then a lot of the rest of the episode was dedicated towards like this New Year's party where lots of things happened. Lots and lots of things happened. We had Nate and Cassie smashing booties in the bathroom, and we had Fez and Lexi getting their flirt on the couch. That was great. Rue met some boy named Elliot and did drugs with him. And then the episode ended with Fez beating the living shiz out of Nate, and it was glorious. I loved every second of it. So I'm excited to jump into this next episode. Before we do that, please consider leaving a like on the video. It means a ton to me and it helps my channel grow a lot. If you're new here or find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to support me even further, consider checking out my Patreon. That is linked in the description below. I post all my full uncut reactions for everything I watch over there. So if that's something you're interested in, please consider checking that out. But otherwise, let's jump into this episode.
Nate Jacobs was in love. He didn't know how it happened. He didn't know why it happened.
Is he in love with Fez? Cassie? What?
It felt so fucking good.
He's in love with Cassie.
And it was complicated.
Why?
The door, Rose. It's unlocked. Just open it.
Hey, this is retribution for what he did to Tyler last season.
He knew he wasn't perfect. That he had some issues. Maybe if he met Cassie when he was a sophomore instead of Maddie, she would have brought out the best in him. How could he have ever overlooked her?
This is very surprising.
She was everything you could ever want in a woman.
I mean, facts, but still.
He could imagine spending life with her.
My man falls quick. He's in a coma is what he's in. What a shot. What is this?
I don't want to weird you out or anything, but I can imagine starting a family with you.
Oh, that's
Nate began to wonder if he had brain damage.
yikes, bruh.
He knew he could do a better job than his dad.
Yo, that prosthetic must be really good.
But there's no point in fantasizing about a life with Cassie when he knew that Maddie had that disc.
Does he know that she has it? Did she mention that last season? He knew that it was there and he didn't do anything about it? My mans. I would have snatched that ASAP. See, when you pray over a demon, they react negatively. That's why it's having a seizure. What a montage is happening right now. Good. Well, I don't know why I'm saying good. You guys should not be together. You are too toxic for each other. It's not a healthy relationship. Ayo, Elliot!
Hey.
What's going on?
Hi.
Hi.
Nothing.
Sup, dude?
Sir, how do you know Elliot?
Met him 2 days ago.
Oh shit, yeah.
Why are you being so weird, Rue?
Jules is my girlfriend.
Wow. I didn't know you were,
In a relationship?
Gay.
The other thing I wish I could mention is
What he was gonna say.
the last 2 days hanging out.
Nice to meet you.
I love you, bye.
Yo, why is she crying?
Just me, or was that super awkward?
That was awkward.
Hey guys. Hey Jules.
Lexi, where's the fucking Tylenol?
Is that Nate's blood on your leg? Why didn't you wash it off?
'Cause she likes it there. Makes her feel connected to him.
Nate sent me the most beautiful text message this morning. Really? What'd he say?
Wow. Is she in love with him too? What is going on?
When are you getting off the phone?
Why do you care?
Because I want to talk to you.
Yo, bless up to this child.
Babysitting wasn't her first choice of a job.
I'm sorry, but 17-year-olds can't donate eggs.
That's fucking retarded.
I mean, that's absolutely makes sense. You're a minor. She just goes in these rich people's houses as she babysits their kids and steals their stuff, maybe, or tries it on. You gotta time things better, girl. You gotta know when they're coming home. How do you just leave it all strewn about? What are you doing, Lassie? You have so much stuff to put away. Oh, and they're gonna find out because you left that drawer open.
Hey,
Is that Minka Kelly?
help me with this zipper.
Is that Dawn from Titans? What's up, girl? How you doing?
Thank you for being so sweet.
Well, speaking of baby daddies, I seen the photo that Ethan posted it to you. It's cute as fuck.
Yeah, Kat, stop flaunting your healthy, non-abusive, wonderful relationship. It's actually triggering.
Stop flaunting your normal relationship. The sound of a sword? Oh my god, did Ethan just get murdered? Nice. Who did it? Is that called Drogo? Killing makes me hard. What if they actually got Jason Momoa? That'd be so funny. I'm a large peepee.
What are you doing?
Fezco Vashimakira.
Yo, Ethan's dead body is right there. Yo, why is she crying right now, girl? Just communicate with this boy. Be like, I want you to be a little more risky with me. Instead of being so vanilla. And he'll be like, okay, let's do it. Ethan seems like a go with the flow type dude.
Turns out she's gonna spend the rest of her life trying to kill me.
I know.
But she'll actually kill you.
Would she? I don't think so.
Fucking racist.
She put someone's head into
Sorry, I
a...
didn't hear you, bitch. What?
How does she not get expelled? I don't think you can like assault multiple students over the course of your tenure and still go to school there. That's not how that works.
So I hurt my feelings. Why? Because I can tell you have a crush on him.
I do not have a fucking crush on you.
Then why else would you forget meeting him?
You just gotta communicate. Be like, I met this dude. We chilled a little bit. Nothing romantic.
I feel like we should do drugs.
She agrees.
Yeah, they all know what's up.
But apparently, Faye had pushed the motel manager off the balcony.
Why?
And the last
Hide
thing
an event.
Fezco needed was the cops finding Faye with Custer.
Yo, she's actually gonna hide an event?
The only reason that I went so crazy is because the motel manager kept saying such mean things.
So? You pushed him off a balcony.
She didn't see anything.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking her.
Why does he think she'll know?
Get everyone's cell phones, text histories. Find out what exactly happened.
But she doesn't want it getting out that she smashed Nate, so she'll do something.
Hello?
Don't ever put that in writing again.
Don't ever put that in writing.
Don't look at her. Look at me.
Yo, how does his mom sit here and let this man interrogate her children?
He was going to call the police. No, he wasn't. He was bluffing, and you fell for it because you're a fucking idiot.
Yes, Lexi.
Fezco almost killed Nate. That was his decision.
It was a righteous decision. And Lexi's in love.
Lexi had thought about that night a lot. How could Fezco be so kind to her and so violent towards Nate?
'Cause he's awesome.
Almost beat Nate Jacobs to death.
Should have finished the job.
How she's always been so passive.
Oh, what's up, Hunter from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Rue, you really need to get help.
What are you gonna tell my mom or something?
Yeah, if you don't stop.
Is this how their friendship ended? The first time?
I think she overdosed.
Ooh, does she slightly blame herself?
She hated herself for being so weak.
Dang, Lexi. That's what's up. Boss girl era for Lexi. Yo, you gonna bring a gun to Fezco? Fezco will jack you up too.
How old were you?
I was 14.
So recent.
Does he have a tattoo on his eyelid? That must hurt like a mother trucker.
Ethan made plans with Kat to go bowling that night. Kat was depressed because she couldn't figure out why she didn't love Ethan.
So she decided to make the
Pros. Cute. Solid pro. Handsome, funny, loves me. Those are all quality pros. What's his con?
But she couldn't think of anything.
Won't tear my clothes off.
Kat, you're one of the bravest, most beautiful human beings I have ever seen.
What?
Not true.
Who is this lady?
Yes, it is. I wish I had your. You just have to love yourself.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. I fucking hate myself.
Every day.
You're like the most beautiful person I've ever fucking seen.
Maybe by a white, cis, male, heteronormative standard?
Oh my god, are you fucking joking? Are you fucking talking? It's the patriarchy! It isn't talking! You are not listening!
It's the patriarchy!
You have to love yourself.
You need to find your inner fucking warrior. Become a bad bitch. Just like you did last year.
But that wasn't even real!
It looked real.
But it wasn't real.
Shut the fuck up!
I feel like this is a commentary on how people received her story last year versus how she like actually feels about it.
Love yourself. Love yourself.
Gotta get ready to go bowling, so. You should maybe see a therapist. Might help. I don't know. Just a little bit. Each one of these characters needs to set up a weekly session with a therapist.
It's me spring, but don't care about
What the fuck?
nothing.
Who is that? Is that Cassie? There's a witness. You gotta go run Rue down on her bike now.
She brings the rain.
I feel like all of this is just so like why? Why is this happening? Yo, where's Lexi and Fez? I want to see more of them. Yo, okay. Ethan probably feels so weird about this because this was like a him and Kat thing, and she invited her two friends. So he's probably like, this is awkward. I'm gonna murder you in this construction site.
I really like you.
But we can't see each other anymore. Now get out of my truck.
We can't see each other. And we can never ever speak about this.
Sucks to suck, Cassandra. You don't want to be with this guy anyway. Bruh, what are you gonna call an Uber right now? Are you gonna walk home?
Cassie!
This dude drove you out in the middle of nowhere to break up with you. Incredible. Yes, Lexi. Yes, Lexi.
Lexi Howard. How you doing?
Good.
She dressed up for this.
What brings you out here anyway?
Oh, I just came to get a drink.
You rode your bike all the way down here?
You got plenty of those. That's the malt liquor.
Yeah, I know.
Lexi. Girl. What you doing? You should leave, Fez. Yo, Cassie, what are you doing? It's like you're running from a serial killer. Which, you know, kinda. How does he know which abandoned house she went in? Abandoned, unfinished house. Don't kiss right now after you just said you can't be together. What are you doing? Stay consistent, Nathaniel. Bro, if they have sex in this construction zone, you gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. These people. F them kids.
Are you ever gonna look Maddie in the eye?
Why would you say that? This dude. What?
She tell you who I am?
Nah, man.
I don't think Fez is afraid of a gun. Especially when his little brother's straight strapped. He's like, thank you for assaulting my child. Well, yeah, I mean, probably not smart to assault this kid in front of other people.
It works if you work it.
Are you worth it? Let me work it. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
All right.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm going to introduce myself to your mother.
Yo, Ollie, date her mom. Ollie and Rue's mom sitting in a tree. Kissing. That looks like Pizza Planet.
Sponsor the little troublemaker.
But she's doing well, right?
No. The opposite. She's doing. As soon as he's out of eyesight, he's like, this is the real point. There's a fake point and then the real point. It's like, I'm watching you.
He's handsome.
Yes. Yes, Rupert's mom. Develop a crush. Date the shiz out of Ollie.
Is it true you killed Mouse?
Go to sleep.
It is slightly true. His little brother did it.
You remember that classmate of mine that you fucked? Jules?
He's straight up just saying it out loud.
So maybe I was sticking up for you.
Nah. Not quite.
Well, what she didn't know is that you were filming her.
No. Maddie has it.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Well, we got some truth and honesty out there a little bit, but I think things are just going to continue to get messier and messier. Okay, a lot of things are happening in this episode, and I feel like the storylines are getting more and more intertwined almost, and a little messier. Like a lot of the things that started out in season 1 is kind of like their own individual, offshoots or whatever, are kind of all, they're starting to have branches that cross each other and make this slightly more of a cohesive, like, one larger story instead of individual stories about each people. Because like last season they had like specific episodes where huge chunks of it were dedicated towards just this one character, right? And that was evident even in the post episode like featurette things where they would interview that one character or that one actor. And so far in both of these first 2 episodes, they haven't really done that. And the post episode featurette has featured, multiple of the actors, the director, the cinematographer, like, so I feel like they're, at least at this point in the season, making a concerted effort to not make it just like individual stories about individual characters, because they've already kind of dove into those people's backstories in a sense. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to then like retread over all that stuff, and you know what I mean. But lots of stuff is going down. So we pick up after Nate got the shiz kicked out of him, and we find out that he is apparently in love with Cassie now, which is, for me, feels completely out of the blue. I mean, they kind of touched on that even in the post episode thing, where like the actual actor who plays Nate, he's Australian. What? He's either like Australian or like New Zealand or something like that. But he's got an accent. He's not an American boy. He even mentions how it was very confusing for him at first, and he kind of thought it was like a classic like high school show trope where, character gets with ex's best friend, and according to him, it goes to an important place where it's important for his development as a character. We haven't seen that yet, I don't think, but even initially he felt confused about it, and I'm confused because it's like, so far really nothing, we haven't seen anything that has lended credibility to him being in love with Cassie. I mean, he mentions how she's like a strong woman and you know, everything you'd ever want in a woman, and it's like, okay, sure. And then he's like, I could picture a future with her, like where he could picture having an actual family with her, whereas Maddie, they're way too combative towards each other. Yeah, so like a future with her would never be like a real thing, but with Cassie he could like actually see a real future. You know, who knows how much of that is brain injury and how much of that is real. And like throughout the whole episode they're kind of doing this like we shouldn't but we should type thing where, you know, they're like, we can't let Maddie find out about this, she'll murder you. And it's like, probably. And then somehow Cassie is like falling for Nate at the same time, and I guess maybe are they gonna try and play this off as like, oh, she's always been in love with him but hasn't felt like she could do anything about it because like he was with Cassie, but now that they're like apart it's okay, you know, cue the Friends reference, we were on a break. But she's like in love with him, and he takes her to this construction zone to be like, we can't be together. And then she's like gonna cry and she runs away, and he's like, that scene felt like it was straight out of a horror story where he's just like slowly following her through this abandoned unfinished construction zone, and she's like running away and he knows exactly where she went. He follows her perfectly and then eats her out in a construction zone. And it's just, it's so back and forth and so confusing and weird, and I don't really know how I feel about it, or like if the motivations for that truly like line up, you know. It doesn't feel it, you know, it just doesn't feel good. I don't know, like it doesn't feel like it makes sense, if that makes sense. Maybe it makes sense to other people. It doesn't really make sense to me at the moment. What else went down? We have Rupert and Jules and Elliot. So after New Year's, Rue became friends with Elliot and they've been doing drugs and stuff, but she's hiding the fact that she's still doing drugs from Jules. So she can't tell her that, you know, they've been hanging out and doing drugs. and I guess that is upsetting to Jules because she feels like there's something more going on there. And she's right in a sense, like there's more going on that Rue isn't telling her, but it's not quite what she thinks it is. So hopefully, you know, all these people just need to communicate with each other. What else? Ooh, Catherine. Freaking Catherine. Catherine and her sweet boy Ethan. You know, Ethan, just the best character. One of the best characters in the show. They're dating, and he's just the sweetest, nicest boy to her. And she's not feeling it because she wants something more dangerous. She wants something more exciting. And I guess he is not, you know, he's not exciting enough or whatever. But she's like not communicating that to him. Like he's just sweet and he likes her for who she is, and she doesn't like that, I guess, about herself or something. I don't know. But she has this fantasy of him being murdered, and then Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones, essentially like it's not like she doesn't have a fantasy of him like raping her, but like taking her as his prize for combat or something. I don't know. And you know, she's like, oh no, you have to take me. It's like, I guess. And it's just like these are the things she fantasizes about, is a relationship that is not so sweet and innocent and lovey-dovey. You know, she misses her little bad girl self a little bit. And they talk about in the after episode, she lives her life in a lot of fantasy environments. Like when she when we were first introduced to her as a character, we learned that she was like one of the most like prolific fan fiction writers in California or something, and started this whole like One Direction fan fiction. So it's probably just something that is like constantly going on in her head, is these different fan fiction story elements that turn her on. And I think she just needs to communicate that with Ethan, and he'd probably be down. You know, if she is straight up just like, yo, Ethan, I want you to pretend we don't know each other and for you to just like bang me like viciously, he'd be like, lit, let's do it. Like, he'd probably feel a little awkward at first, but I feel like if she explained to him why, he'd be fine with it, and then she could maybe like rekindle her feelings for him or something. I don't know. At the same time though, with her, she has this other mentality of like, she is constantly being berated by these like influencers that are like, love yourself, like you're beautiful the way you are, like yes queen, and she's like, no, I hate myself, which I feel like is I think it's like a commentary on how the actual actress felt about her story last season, and kind of like how she was perceived both in the show and outside the show. Because I remember seeing an article, I believe like a headline of an article that was like, you know, she wasn't necessarily a fan or something of like there's always the trope of like they talked about when you're a big girl in a world of like skinny girls, when skinny girls are like considered what's hot, and you're a big girl who's like okay with being big, that you have to be like this super confident like person, and like the like public perception among a certain like sect of the internet will kind of like swing the opposite way almost, even where it's like, it's not even just like, hey, like you can like you're attractive as well. It's almost like, yes, like being big, like yes queen, you're so hot, like own it. And I think I like the article or whatever was like pointing out how like she didn't like that. like yeah, she's big, but she's not like trying to flaunt her bigness, if that makes sense. Like and I think that might be like a slight commentary, and they talked about it slightly at the after episode thing, where like sometimes like the big girls aren't confident in themselves, and they don't love the fact that they're big, and they're constantly being barraged by this like influencer mentality of like, you have to love yourself, like that's the only way anyone's gonna love you is if you love yourself. And when she doesn't love herself, she maybe doesn't trust the fact that Ethan loves her, and it's just like a whole thing. But I felt like it was kind of a commentary on her and her story from last season, because last season, you know, that was her whole like fake persona that she put on, was like this, you know, this big girl who's like gonna dress how she wants and show off her body and be all confident, and everyone was like, yes queen, get it. Like everyone was like, flaunt that, Catherine, like get it girl. And she's like, it was fake. Like that's not real. You know, she has insecurity, and it's a whole thing, and her and Ethan are gonna get complicated, and it's, you know, it is, you know. What else? We had Ali met Rue's mom. I hope they date. That would be fun. And we had Lexi. Being a little. She was prepared to be a little bit of a bad girl for a minute. It talks about how she was like always so passive and afraid, and she slightly blames herself for Rue's overdose, because like the one time that she had the guts to say something to Rue, you know, it didn't work out, and then she backed off, and then Rue overdosed, and she kind of feels like maybe she could have stopped that. At the same time, she's mad at Cassie for ratting on Fez, because she's super into Fez, because he was like attentive towards her and asked her tons of questions about herself and actually cared. But she's like confused, but she doesn't want to be that like passive girl anymore. So she's like, she gets herself all pretty and like dressed up. She's gonna go talk to him at the gas station, and it's like, yes. And then freaking Faye is there, and she's like, hi, I got my big lips. It's alright, I don't want to roast this random actor. She's probably a nice lady. And then Nate's dad shows up, and he's like thinking about doing something, and it's just like it's a whole thing, and it's very messy. And then the episode ends with Nate kind of fully explaining why Fez beat him up. He bends the truth a little bit there. He doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, but the episode ends with him wondering if Nate has the tape, and it's so whatever Cassie did, or not Cassie, whatever Maddie did with that tape, it's gonna come into play. One thing that I also think is gonna come into play is what Faye asked. She asked, did you actually kill Mouse? And it's a small thing. It's a small thing, but I feel like it's gonna come up, especially since I think those drug dealers are gonna be a more prominent story in the rest of the season. The fact that she's like outright asking like, did you kill Mouse? I think it's gonna come back. But I enjoyed this episode. It's definitely like, things are messy. I feel like that was almost the theme of this episode, is things are messy, and people they talked about at the end also that people have various desires, and they say they want certain things, but then truly want other things, and we're kind of getting into all those people's heads, and it's very interesting. But yeah, I don't know. We'll find out more next episode, I guess. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a ton to me, helps my channel out a lot. If you're new here or find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to support me even further, consider checking out my Patreon. That is linked in the description below. Over there, I post all my full-length reactions for everything I watch here. So if you're interested in that, consider checking it out. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.